Hey guys, it's Liam Carlson here. It's my reaction to episode 9 of season 8 of Charmed. In the description, as well as the comments below, pinned, as well as my full reaction available of this episode and many more on my Patreon. Quite an episode, next week's going to be absolutely massive. But yeah, quite the episode, especially given the fact that, well, around this day 5 years ago, I think it's fair to say that the entire world was knee deep in the middle of a pandemic, and we've kind of got a virus going on in this episode for the magical community, of course. As I've said, you can check out the reaction in the links below, as well as the fact that tomorrow on Patreon I'm going to be doing a Charmed Q&A where people have sent in their questions in regards to my thoughts about Charmed entirely. So until then, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and until the next time, toodles. Really thought that this was very interesting, very great stuff. A great difference to, I guess, last week's episode. And it was just really, really fun stuff. Obviously, you had certain bits and pieces that were kind of revisited. From... Well, I feel like that has been the case with season 8, where a lot of episodes have kind of borrowed... And I guess, 8 seasons in, you might risk doing this, but they do seemingly borrow from what it's kind of like a revisitation of sorts. They have borrowed certain ideas that have been utilized across the 7 seasons of Charmed. So yeah, but I guess it was also here's the thing: there are 2 guarantees when it comes to being a Charmed one. You're either going to get turned into something temporarily, or you're gonna die. Not permanently, of course. I know, sadly, that was the case with Prue by the end of season 3. But I guess prior to that, there has been moments where she's been, where she has teetered towards death, and it's the same with all the Charmed ones, with Paige, Piper, Phoebe, Billy. It's your turn. So, yeah, I feel like it's a rite of passage. It sounds macabre, but it does feel like it, because, how many times have I, been like, oh, Piper's died again, or Phoebe's died again. It does feel like a rite of passage in terms of being a Charmed one, that, hey, you're not a Charmed one unless you die at some point. So, yeah. It was Billy who was risking death. And as I mentioned in just as I finished the episode, I did like the story that was going around in terms of magical beings. Not as well as the fact that the government have been aware about this, because they might have sprung shit around and all of that. And there is this kind of idea of creating these super soldiers. So, it's really an interesting. I do expect, obviously, pardon me, even though that they said that, that government guy was not going to, he might keep his distance. I still expect some kind of continuation of, obviously, Homeland Security's involvement in terms of secrecy when it comes to experimenting on demons, on magical users, and being able to utilize a super soldier of some sorts. I'm not talking about Captain America, but they need something in terms of protecting themselves against the demons, etc. If they're aware of magic, they need something they need a series of soldiers to fight against the demons and put them at bay. So I kind of like that idea, but I think with the virus, I think for me that did have a bit of potential for a continuation in terms of a little arc. I'm not talking about like half the season, but I feel like it should be a bigger deal than this like compared to what this episode established, because I think there could be some very I genuinely think there could be some great ideas utilized, and you can make this a really, really massive deal. So yeah. Um, but yeah, like I said, when it comes to the government's involvement, yeah, that's definitely still going to be a continuous thing. So I know Piper brushed off any kind of conspiracies, but I'm like, come on, Area 51. This is essentially if Area 51 are not already involved. This is essentially it, really, when it comes to them experimenting on shit. So yeah, because you can't just sit there and be and chalk it up and well eliminate conspiracy theories and all of that. I mean, how many people have talked about conspiracy theories in regards to Area 51, what they are hiding, etc. Yeah. And yeah, this isn't aliens, but it's still something that goes above humanity in terms of, well, it's not just the demons that goes above humanity, it's you yourselves. You're a special bunch of people that the world really does rely on. Not just the magical world, I guess, in this instance, because they did find that person, and they were able to fix this whole kerfuffle. But how many times has the world risked being doomed by demons, and you were there to save it? So, I wouldn't go jump the gun in terms of eliminating like any kind of conspiracy theories or whatnot. So, it could be like they could just say it was an accident, but let's be clear. The government have been notorious for lying anyways out their asses, so it's not like it's going to go unprecedented if they could just like it's not going to be a surprise if this accident wasn't so much an accident. So yeah, but it was really it was really fun stuff though. Like I said, with this whole like little virus thingy mabob. Like I said, I kind of did wish we got a bit of an idea, or well, a bit of a push, should I say, in terms of making this like a little mini arc. It would have been around this time last season that we kind of had that with the avatars. Yeah, obviously, I know there are bigger focuses to look towards, including anything that hasn't been presented yet. But we've got, of course, the whole situation with Christy as well, and obviously with Billy. And with this being the final season, you kind of expect a bit of a bigger focus on Billy's character, right? So yeah, but yeah, it was very, very great stuff. This episode, so I really liked it. I just loved the fact that we also had that kind of time travel aspect. I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I thought Phoebe was gonna say like when I guess present day Phoebe wanted assurance that this was going to happen. For some reason, I thought she was going to say spoilers, even though that she's witnessing things play out. Like future Phoebe was like 6 years ago. I was in the same position. There's this whole timey wimey aspect. So yeah, and it's not unprecedented, of course, time travel, but it's just very, very eerie because it does come attached with premonitions, but it's like she's actually time traveled to that point and then zips back. So yeah, but it's just with the whole, because it did seem like it was an astral projection slash premonition, an astral premonition, if you will. So yeah, but there was even like the little red hue that they kind of do when it comes to astral projection. So and yeah, it was really, really great stuff this episode, I felt. So Yeah, and it was really, really important as well with this. Well, especially that kind of closure in the ending of the episode. It was kind of important for Phoebe in terms of being able to restore their faith in the, in regards to restoring her faith in her powers. So, yeah. So yeah, and it does really, really does it does really suck because that she went to the extremes of like losing that faith, because it all came at the culmination of how she failed to find that one person and have a baby by this time, etc. So and I think she did need that little time to reflect on all of that. Even though that they were worried about the fact that, well, this isn't Phoebe, but sometimes you just need that. So, yeah, but yeah, it was a very, very interesting episode. Like I said, the whole idea of this like kind of experiments with like, you do kind of expect more to come about with the government with yeah. I'm not sure about Murphy because, well, Piper did say I don't think he wants anything to do with us again. So after we did threaten him, it was a kind of a baller scene. But they were at their patience was just wearing thin. Especially since, well, with Billy, she's on a bit of a countdown. So yeah, but yeah, it was there was some great ideas being chucked around in this. So yeah, and yeah, it was just really, really fun stuff. There was, of course, a little bit of focus on Henry as well in this episode. Like I said, I did kind of expect him to appear and whatnot. So and then to potentially tease something with Paige, and they did, especially in terms of. I mean, I thought it was, of course, a bit abrupt. Excuse me, in regards to. Hey, can you, like, second time we meet, hey, can you babysit this kid whilst I try to find the father? So yeah, because it's like, well, she's babysitting this kid, etc., and you're just okay, whatever. But of course, it was also a mechanism that would, especially when they were playing hot potato with the baby, it was a mechanism to kind of push things further along for Phoebe as well. But also in terms of bridging that connection with Paige and Henry. So yeah, especially with what Henry had to say towards the end of things. So. But it also gave you a bit of an idea of understanding a bit of his character as well, because if we're going to have him stick around and potentially be a love interest for Paige, we got to get to know a little bit more about the guy. So seemingly he was in he had some very troubling experiences when it came to him in foster care, and yeah, I guess there is a bit of similarities there when it comes to Paige and Henry not growing up seemingly with their biological parents, because obviously we know that Paige was adopted. Um, so, and sadly she lost her adoptive parents quite young. But yeah, I mean, um, I did really, really love how he warmed to the baby as well. So yeah, it was really, really great to learn a bit more about Henry's character. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, it was a really, really great episode of Charmed. Bit gutted that they didn't see, I don't know. I feel like there could be some way of creating this little virus thing into a mini arc. Because I feel like there is so much potential. I mean, if the demons are getting infected, and so are anyone else on the magical side of things, whether you're good or you're bad, I feel like there is potential. Because there were clearly some good ideas, but it did seem like in the writers' room, that didn't come to mind, and they were like, okay, well, we gotta create high stakes here to the point where Billy's on death's door, essentially. But we've also got to wrap it up in one episode. So, Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like it would have been a really, really interesting idea to kind of flesh it out a bit further. So yeah. Because even how they tied it up and how they got to cure everyone. Of course, the elders did help out, seemingly, but how they were able to resolve things in this episode, not just in terms of curing people, but also fending off against those demons. I did feel like it was a little bit rushed, so I feel like if there could be more time to develop this whole virus arc and create higher stakes, maybe. So, but like I said, I'm aware that we're nearly at the halfway point of the season. Scary, so we got to start wrapping things up. So yeah, but that's why I said mini arc, because it's only like a few episodes. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, great stuff with this episode. So I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!